We are going to be playing today with the kits, and the kit that we're going to play with is by your side. So this is a kit. It comes just like this. Some are wrapped in plastic and some are not. And this kit here happens to be one of the latest ones. So this is the City Sights kit. So let me just pull it out of here. So how it comes, all of your supplies are wrapped in plastic as well as the instructions. So that's how they all come. And then in addition, you always get a stamp and spot if it is a stamping kit, because not all of them are. This one is, and the one that I'm going to work with today is as well. But some of them are just putting cards together. And you get all of the adhesives, you get everything you need in this one little box. So this is the stamp set. Let me just put it on white, maybe so you can see that a little bit better. That comes with the City Sights kit, and it's Pebbled Path, which is one of my favorite in colors, and it's current still, and it was offered last year. It was announced last year, and it is a great color, sort of a mix between a gray and a brown. So that's how they come, and then you just create. So this is the by your side. So it also comes with a block. So one block that all of the stamps will fit on, regardless of the size of the stamp. It's an Old Olive Stamp and Spot in this particular one. Now, I should mention that why I don't have a brand new one of these, the By Your Side kit is currently unavailable. We are assuming that this one is going to come back because it's sold out right now, but it's in our annual catalog, and you'll be able to see why it's sold out. So here, there's some embellishments to go with it, and this is the set of instructions. And the set of instructions are in different languages, but they're all in pictures. Okay, so they're in picture form so that you don't have to worry about reading. You're able to just look at the pictures. It tells you, first of all, in this particular one, there are two different card designs. Some of them are cards, some of them are treat holders, some of them are 3D items. So there's a little bit of everything. And so this is what's included to make the card on the first card. This is what's included on the second card. And then it tells you how to make each of the cards. Okay, so we are actually going to be working with card number 1 today, but I have lots of samples on card number 2 as well. So I'm going to pull those out, although we almost don't need to have the instructions because this is actually pretty easy. So this is the stamp set with the stamps all stamped out for you. So you can see there's quite a few different stamps, and this one in particular is wonderful for making different things with it, which is what we're going to do, and I'm going to show you today. Okay, so there's that. Then we have all of our punched out type of things. So for this particular one, we are going to be working with this envelope, and this card. Now they come pre-colored, pre-designed, pre-decorated really for you already. And this is a heavyweight cardstock, and they're white on the inside so that you have lots of room to write. And then you get a great envelope that is perfect for stamping as well. So we're going to put that off to the side. We are going to punch out one of the banners. And what's nice is you get a couple more banners than you need. There are 8 cards in here, and you have enough for 12 banners. And I'm going to pull in, but I'm going to bring in this one first. And what's also great, so these are all of the little critters on here. So you have 2 cats and 2 dogs, and you also get more of these than you need. So if you get 12 of them, so if you want to do more cat images than dog, you can. Or if you want to do vice versa, or you can mix it up, which is what I've done with them. Okay, so we are going to make it super quick. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make it. So you do need your bone folder or something just to crisp up your edge. And we're going to take our little cat on this one. We're going to put some dimensionals on. So here's the card. So what we're going to do is we are just going to make it exactly like we're supposed to make it here. We're going to use, instead of the Stamp and Spot, I am going to use my Old Olive stamp pad. So I'll just put that off to the side. It just makes it a little easier for video. We are going to use the acrylic block, however. And the words that we are going to go use is you make my heart happy. So we're going to take that off here, stick that on, and we're going to stamp that onto the little banner. Now, I have found with the photopolymer stamps, as most of you have as well, that it really helps if you pull in your Stampin' Pierce mat. It will really make them stamp quite a bit better, actually. So I'm just going to ink this up. Now, these blocks are not quite as thick as our other blocks, so just note that. So I'm just being a little bit more careful as I'm stamping into my ink pad so that my fingers are not getting green at all. So I'm going to stamp this down, hopefully nice and straight. We'll find out in just a minute. Okay, so there we go. And I'm also going to stamp with, now there's two of the paw prints. One is a little bit smaller and meant to be the cat, and one's a little bit bigger and meant to be the dog. Really, you could use both of them interchangeably. So we're going to put that one off to the side. We are going to stamp just like it tells us here. We're going to put a paw print there and there. I'm just using a smaller acrylic block here. So we're going to put one top and we're going to put one bottom. Now, if I were making all of these cards at one time, I would do all my stamping at one time. Sorry, I just realized I wasn't in the screen there. And so I'm also going to stamp the back of my envelope, and I want it so that when someone receives it and they open it, that paw print is this way. That's just personal preference for me. Okay, so that we're going to finish off, and we're just going to put this together. So it is a stitched, sort of a square. It's actually more of a rectangle. It's not completely square. So there's two little heart cutouts here, a little one and a big one. And what we're going to do is we're going to use dimensionals. We're going to use the ones that it came with. Now the dimensionals here I have found seem to be almost a tiny bit bigger than the dimensionals that not bigger, than the ones that we purchase. So I put that down just like the instructions say, and I'm going to put this guy down as well. Now the adhesives you get are dimensionals in the kit. Okay, you don't get any liquid glue or any little dots in this particular one. So we're going to put down our greeting first. And the greeting is going to go so that it's flush with the right side of the card. And it's going to overlap the bottom here. And we want to try and get that on as straight as possible. Let me just hold it this way for a moment. There we go. Okay, so you make my heart happy. I really like this little black. I think that's not quite straight. Hold on. There, that's better. And we're going to put dimensionals on the back of the cat. Now, if you were making this at home, you wouldn't be talking. So you would be going even a little bit quicker than I am going right now. But I think you could make the entire set of cards, I'm thinking half an hour. Now, if you're chatting with friends, that maybe will take you a little bit longer, but it really is fabulous and quick. They're so quick and easy. People who are receiving your cards don't actually necessarily know the difference. So if that's the case, I'm changing up this just slightly differently. I am going to put one of these hearts on, but I'm going to put the heart on this side as opposed to on this side. And I just put a little dot of glue there just to make sure that this stays adhered. Okay, so we're just going to put that there. Now you could always do this on the inside, which I am going to do. I'm not going to waste those little hearts. So let's put them on the inside. And maybe we'll put them up here so that you can use the entire card to write on. You could also put another greeting in here from the set if you wanted. It's totally up to you. Well, let's go there and there. Get that glued down so we have our hearts and our card with our, close it in here, our coordinating envelope. So that's how quick it is to make one card. So I'm going to show you the entire set. So we have the cat one. Then we have, in that same design, we have the dog one. Move that so I can get them all on here. And then we have two that are like this with that super cute guy. and then this one as well. Okay, so this one has the I'll always be by your side. This one has you make my heart happy. So great designs. I'm actually going to package these up and put them as a gift for a friend of mine who has 2 cats and 3 dogs. Perfect for her to be able to give them away to somebody else. So you can get 2 out of each kit. You could get 2 gifts to go with them. So now what I want to do is I want to show you how you can use these items for yourself afterwards. So let's say you've made up the kit. It's still good, right? Especially that stamp set. So there's all kinds of things that you can do with that. And that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to go with a totally different color, and I have another sample at the end as well that I want to share with you. So we are going to be using Petunia Pop, which is one of our new in colors. And we're also going to be focusing on, and you're going to love this paper, the Full of Life paper. And this is Designer Series paper out of the new annual catalog. It's part of a collection, part of a suite, and it is right here, the Full of Life, which is on page 43. Pull that up just a little bit. So this paper, I'm going to show it to you in a little bit more detail here, but I loved this paper. I was immediately drawn to how nice and bright and cheerful this paper is. And I also was drawn to these embellishments and to the ribbon. Not so much for me, the stamp set, although I really did like the friend, and I may get it here, especially once you see samples, right? So this is what I've purchased so far. So let me show you that paper. Is that on anybody's wish list? The paper or any of the items? So this is the Full of Life. I want to show you all of them so that you can see whether they deserve a spot in your. So here's one. I will show you the other side in just a moment. So I love that there are repeating patterns here, but they're basically watercolor. So they're watercolor. This one is watercolor dots. And this is such a cool pattern. Think if you stuck something just in the middle of this, like one of the Playing in the Rain critters, or just some kind of bright flower. So they are repeating some similar. That's not exactly the same, but it's like swashes with your paintbrush. There's more squares, different colors though, more swashes, a little bit bigger, not as solid as these, more puddles of water. Another one of those with some more vibrant colors, some smaller dots, and more of those brushes. We'll turn that one that way, and then some smaller squares. So those are all those patterns. And then on the back side, look how gorgeous these are. These are such bright colors. Look at how I love this color right here. There are so many colors. So you'll be able to coordinate it with a whole bunch of the colors that you already have. Let's do some cutting on this guy right here. Now, if I want to have mostly that pink showing, so I'm assuming you want sunburst on the outside of it. I need to turn this the right side up. There we go. We are going to cut this so that it is, and all of these measurements again will be on my blog, but this one here is 3 1/4 by 5. So because I want mostly this on it, I am going to have it so that I'm going to cut off that piece. Well, let's just go here. And you get a little bit of that left over. And go here. That's pretty cool just by itself. What we're going to do first to our card is we are going to stamp some paw prints on the back of it. So I'm going to stamp with my Petunia Pop and the paw, and we're just going to randomly stamp that. We're going to stamp and move our stamp all the time. So go all the way around because that is a fairly large piece of designer paper. But I want to, wherever it maybe peeks out, I want to still have my paw prints showing. So I'm just twisting as I go, stamping off the page, which is why I'm using a piece of paper in the background. Now, I don't need to go right in the middle. I've probably gone plenty now, so I'm going to use that for our card. So now we're going to glue this down on top of that. I'm gonna put my glue onto the back. And I'm place that down on a little bit of a diagonal. Not too much of a diagonal, but a little bit. What about if we went for fresh freesia right over top? Okay, I think as well you could easily go for Highland Heather. You can go for probably Gorgeous Grape if you wanted to go a little bit darker. I think, did I say Blueberry Bushel in there would be great as well. So there are lots of different options that you have for creating this front piece. Okay, so we're gonna put that right over top. But before I do, I want to pull in one of my punches because I want a heart. So this is our Bee Builder punch that coordinates with the Be Mine stamp set. And I'm just going to, in the corner, can you tell what I'm doing here? Now you have to be careful here because I do not want to cut off the corner of my cardstock. You want to just put a heart in the corner. So I'm going to move so I don't see any of my cardstock peeking out there. Okay, so I want to just, oh well. Here we got that there. And we are just going to put some dimensionals on the, actually I'm just going to glue that down. I want this to be a little bit of a flatter card. So I'm going to glue this down, put a little dot of glue there. I am just putting that straight down, trying to get it straight. I'll leave that there for just a moment. Now I have already stamped and embossed because I did want to have this be a fairly bold piece. So I've stamped and embossed on black. Now, because we selected this one, you could also do it onto Gorgeous Grape, which would be cool, but the black will work fine. Black with white writing on top of it. And I selected the Best Friends Forever. Okay, and also the little fish here. So that is going to be just dimensionalized, shall we say. But because I thought I was going to dimensionalize that one, I'm going to put more dimensionals just to hold it up a little bit. Now, before we do that, we are going to glue this down. Let's put that guy down. We can't put her like that. I don't know why it's a her. It's a her. So let's put her on. Okay, so there is our card. And let's put a piece of white on the inside. And, oh, I do want to put a white, cut out one white heart. I'm going to put it up there. And I also do have some of those other dimensionals that I want to put on. And I want to see if we want to have any ribbon. We could put a ribbon up here. So I'm going to take a large one. I think maybe I think up there. I didn't want to compete with the fish there. And I'm going to put one up here. Maybe one more small one. That off there, which can come down here so that we've got a bit of a triangle going on. The ribbon will be cool because it'll sort of coordinate with the cat's ball of yarn. So I'm just cutting a little piece. So you don't need much ribbon. And, you know, we always used to think that it had to be a bow, but it doesn't have to be a bow. Okay, so we are going to just layer that one over top of the other. We're going to put it on with a glue dot when we're doing that. So I'm going to put the glue dot in behind this piece. So I'm going to try and get it right here, right onto the piece of paper that it comes on. Lift off the glue dot and then just loop it. I think we're going to try and tuck that in there. So just a little bit of sparkle down there. So let's put that on with a glue dot as well. Pull that off with my Take Your Pick tool. And then there's something I know that I can put right in the middle of that. So what I'm going to do, I am going to take a heart and I'm going to stick that right on. And then I'm going to add another one of our iridescent guys, and I'm going to have to put another iridescent somewhere else just to coordinate. So maybe we'll put one right in behind there. Coordinate so we have 5. Okay, let's just put a little bit of a paw print. I need my piece of paper. This is such a cheery card. Let's do a little walk with our paw. So coming off, coming back on, and then going off the edge. That's going to be on the bottom, on the inside of the card. Okay, we're going to glue that down. So there's your inside of the card and there's your outside. So let me show you another design using some other remainder pieces of that kit. And I want to show you as well some other samples. So here's the dog. Okay, so this is the exact same layout. So this is the other card. Okay, so you can change it up using different banners. This is using all of the stylish shapes. So these are all really quite similar. This design here, that's almost exactly the same. And just by changing out different colors, but using all of those stamps.
Thanks very much for joining me. Please like the video and subscribe if you'd like to. Also join my email list where you can get exclusive ideas from me every week. Thanks very much. Have a great paper crafting day.